on, it makes it rich.
Good morning, everyone. We welcome you all here this morning to the Center of Peace in our Sunday morning celebration. I am Twana Malone, the Senior Minister and Spiritual Leader here at the Center of Peace. I'm delighted that you all are here joining us this morning for our Sunday celebration. I'm delighted to know that there are those who are joining us not just here in the physical, but virtually as well. So welcome to all who are joining us on Facebook Live and through our YouTube channel. Welcome, 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 and happy Mother's Day to all of our mothers and those who step in for and operate as mothers in this world. Happy Mother's Day. We have a wonderful service in store for you all this morning. We have our licensed professional practitioners assisting us in our service. We have leading us this morning in our meditation, Marilyn Watkins. Leading us in our treatment this morning, Zuma Gonzalez. Leading us this morning in our reading, our selected sacred readings this morning, is Deb Napper. Holding consciousness for us today, that is in quiet repose, knowing the highest and the best about our time together and its unfolding in the most divine and perfect way. We have Deborah Ford doing that for us, Carletta Murray, and Kutia Thompson. Our music today is being sung forth through Rachel Gaiman. On the bowl aspects of life, the ringing of our chakra bowl, giving us an opportunity to bring our attention and our awareness into the room and to be so present, is our practitioner student, Cynthia Banks. Greeting those who walk into our space this morning is Susan Saunders, and we have Al and Vern on the ones and twos. I think we're all set. You all are here, I am here, and right now what I'd like to do is just simply turn it over to Marilyn Watkins as I invite us all not to miss out on 1 ounce of this moment as we bring our full awareness and our presence into this space.
Good morning. take a moment and relax. Close our eyes. Sit comfortably in our chair. Slowly inhale and exhale. And as you do so, scan your body from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet. If there are any areas of tension, release them. This is a guided meditation for about 10 minutes, and I will keep the time. There is a light in you. It never diminishes. It cannot be extinguished. As you continue to slowly breathe in and out, place your attention on the core or center of your being. And you do know where that center within yourself is. It is a place of balance, a place where you can rest, a place where you can feel safe. As you breathe into your center, I remind you that it's also a place of poise, peace, balance, harmony. It is all these things because at the center of your being is the essence of spirit. It is the place of your inner sanctuary. Notice your body. as you're focused in your inner sanctuary, focused in your center, does it feel lighter? Calmer? At peace? Rest in your sanctuary. Your inner sanctuary is always with you. The peace, the balance, the poise, the rest is always at your center. And as you return to the room and go about your day, remember that you can always return to the balance, the peace, the rest at the inner sanctuary of your being. And so it is.
Recognizing the allness of God, the allness of spirit, that allness that balances, that is the balance, that is life, that eternal spirit, highest, best, within, around, through. That spirit that is everything, all God, always, everywhere. That which lives within. I know myself to be what that God is, that thing, the thing itself, that divine it. I know that for myself. And as I know it for myself, I know it for each and everyone. Always being what God is, living life, being life, appreciating, loving, all God. And as I know it for myself, and I know it for each and every one within and without of the sound of my voice, I know that it applies also to this service, for it too is all God, all perfect. Knowing that everything unfolds today exactly as it should, beautifully, wonderfully. Grateful for every voice, every activity, for Reverend Twana, for Rachel, for the other members of the choir, for the musicians, for the technicians, for each and every person that serves as part of this service, making it what it is supposed to be, perfect, reminding us all that it too is what God is. In thanksgiving, then, I place these words into the activity of the law, knowing with full, cheerful expectancy that it is all good, that it is perfect. And in gratitude, then, we anchor by saying, and so it is.
Thank you, Zuma. That was wonderful. And thank you, Marilyn, for that meditation. It was wonderful. So we want to take this opportunity to call your attention to our vision and our mission that if you downloaded the QR code, you'll have on your phone and you can join along in the reading of it. If not, if you'll look to the right-hand side, you'll see our vision and our mission. Our vision, a loving and peaceful world where all of humanity is honored as the divinity within is experienced. And our mission, the Center of Peace, is a loving, inclusive, and vibrant community that utilizes and demonstrates spiritual principles and practices to cultivate powerful individuals who together create peace throughout the world. And so it is. And it's at this time that I'd like to invite you all to please stand and join us in the singing of our congregational song, I'm One. I believe we do have the lyrics printed out for anybody who might not know the lyrics, but if you have downloaded the lyrics, download the QR code, you'll find the lyrics there. If you would please stand and join us. still standing, if you would, please take this opportunity to look over at somebody and glance in their eyes and say hi, and I'm glad you are here. Take this opportunity just to honor the humanity. Yes. 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 You may be seated. So let me take this opportunity to welcome you all here this morning again to the Center of Peace. I am truly delighted that you all are here. Here at the Center of Peace, we are an open and affirming community. All are welcome at the Center of Peace. And if this is your first time being with us on a Sunday, live and in person, we'd love to be able to take this opportunity to welcome you into our heart space, to welcome you into our love. If you would stand, we'd love to be able to welcome you. If this is your first time. All right. Well, Center of Peace, Center of Peace, if you would join me in the expression of love that's flowing from our hearts through our hand as we just say, welcome to the Center of Peace.
Welcome to the Center of Peace.
We know who you really and truly are.
We know who you really and truly are.
A divine and perfect expression of God.
A divine and perfect expression of God.
We honor you.
We honor you.
And we welcome you.
And we welcome you.
Welcome to the Center of Peace.
Welcome to the Center of Peace.
You may be seated. Yes. So I want to call Betty up as we move into the time of service for us to do our announcements. You can come on up with me, yeah. And I first want to share with the congregation, I don't know how many of you know Alicia Scott. She's one of our long-term members and congregants. Yeah. I am sorry to share she made her transition on Thursday. And I'd really just like to take this opportunity to pause for a moment of silence, to send her our love, to let her know that she forever lives in our heart and that here she's always home. And so it is. I believe her services are being held in another state. And when I get some more information and details from her daughter, her family, I'll be sure to pass it on to the congregation, to anybody who might want to participate and be a part of it virtually. But her daughter is so pleased and wanted me to share how much the Center of Peace meant to Alicia and how much it means to her that her mother was able to find love and a home and people who loved and supported her. So I'm pleased to be able to share that. All right, so the first announcement is that your practitioners are preparing and planning a great and a grand opportunity for us to be able to release and let go. It's happening the last Sunday in May, right here, and it is going to be a grand opportunity to let go. So we want you all to plan on being here. We want you all to, it'll be very similar to our Burning Bowl ritual. For those who are familiar with our Burning Bowl ritual that happens usually the end of December. We're not getting away, we're not getting rid of that, we're just adding to. It is my desire to add more rituals, yearly rituals for our community. They seem to be so powerful and transformative. I think it's time that we add a few more rituals. So I'm looking forward to it, and I hope that you all will plan on joining us and being here. You can bring your children. Everybody can be here and participate in it. So I think with that, I'm going to turn it over to Betty.
Good morning, family, and happy Mother's Day. I'm loving the hats. Okay, a couple of announcements. We have our Community Support Fund. It is an opportunity for the Center of Peace to give back to our congregants who are in need If you find yourself in financial emergency need, we have this fund that has been established, and you can get the information on our website at thecenterofpeace.org. There's instructions on how to fill out the paperwork and the amount. Just a reminder that in-person service will continue here through May. In fact, our ritual service will be our last time in this building, so hopefully folks will continue to come. We just have a few more Sundays here. No need to RSVP, and please bring your family and your children. I think Zuma is going to make an announcement about one of the classes, and I thought Nia was as well, but I can fill in for Nia. If you want to come up, Zuma.
Good morning again, family. Exploring Roots, June 17th, facilitated by Alima Boyd. I have the honor of co-facilitating with her. I'm so looking forward to that. I have the privilege of being her TA. Exploring Roots looks at Ralph Waldo Emerson, Thomas Troward, and Emma Curtis Hopkins, three of the most influential people in Ernest Holmes' life. A lot of the works that you have read throughout, you'll hear a quote here, a piece there that came from these people. They were phenomenal in his life and in ours. Looking forward. The class starts June 17th. It is 10 weeks. The registration fee is $45 and a $200 investment. Look forward to seeing you.
Thank you, Zulma. I am going to be TAing a class with Nia. She was actually going to make the announcement today, so I will read it. The class is What is True for Me About Life Challenges. I just started going through the curriculum last week, and it is phenomenal. This is a course about honoring those painful situations, the very human feelings that come with them, and it's about growing through those times with the self-respect and self-compassion that dignifies the pain and turns it into an insightful teacher. It is really, really good. It is starting June 15th for 7 weeks. Tuition is $100, and there's a $25 registration fee. The class is just 2 hours from 6:30 to 8:30 on Thursdays, again, starting the 15th. And I believe, and this is important, the cutoff date to register is June 9th, just so that we have time to prepare. But if you're interested, go to our website to check out more information about it. And then Kamara, if you want to talk about the toiletries.
I'm only from here on going to announce this on occasion because I think everybody has pretty much gotten it, that what we're doing is we're collecting ongoing. This will be anytime you have it, anytime you have excess, you've traveled, someone else has traveled, just bring your small size toiletries for Face to Face, which is a homeless shelter that's right on Penn Street, and they really appreciate them. For those of you who are new, who've never been here before, they make their space available for persons to come in and shower and bathe, and it gives that personal touch. They put in a nice little gift bag and give it to them. And we are observed. I want to thank Warren, Pam's husband, who watches us on Zoom or YouTube or what have you, and through Pam, he sent some today. So word's getting around virtually. So thank you.
Thank you, Kamara. And the last announcement is from Donna Brown. I got it this time.
Good morning, Center of Peace. I just want to remind you this Tuesday is Election Day. Please get out and vote. If you have a paper ballot, fill it out, drop it off in the designated place. Very important election. It is a primary. If you don't know where you should be voting, you can stop at this election center, and they will probably be able to help you, or go onto Google. So please get out and vote and ask your neighbor to make sure they have transportation and are voting. Thank you.
Okay, and our last announcement is just a reminder that our practitioners are available for prayer after service in the back and available during the week for meditation and prayer as well. Thank you.
So, this morning we have a belief in action. Before we get to our song, if you don't know what a belief in action is, it's the opportunity that we like to take on Sundays for our congregants to come up and to share to share with each other the demonstration of the principles in our life, the manifestations that has come due to our practice and our commitment to practice and our commitment to deeper our understanding of the principles. And so anybody can do a belief in action. In fact, it's a very important part of the Sunday service. And if you have a belief in action that you'd like to share, you can email us at the center, info@thecenterofpeace.org, and I'll pass the information on to Callista, one of our practitioners. She'll give you a call, talk you through the process, and then she'll let me know when you're planning on doing your belief in action. So this morning, Ms. Tony Bay has a belief in action to share.
Thank you, Reverend Tawana. Good morning, congregants. Good morning, Center of Peace, and of course, good morning, Reverend Tawana. Happy Mother's Day, everyone. Gee, such beautiful faces. I know I only have 3 minutes, but I'll be good. First of all, I want to say my belief in action comes under the spiritual principle of number 8. We believe in the universal spirit, which is God, operates through a universal mind, which is the law of God, and that we are surrounded by this creative mind, which receives the direct impress of our thought and acts upon it. Now, this brief synopsis, as I call it, it's going to show you why what I am so excited about. First, I got to go through this little bit. I was born and raised in a orphanage in Germany. Was brought to America by a soldier family. And to fast forward, got married to Frank Bay, and who was musically inclined, and he traveled. So while he was in California, he called me one time. He said, listen, you got to find out where is there a center of peace, or where are they studying the science of mind? I said, why? He said, because the band over here is involved in this science of mind study, and it's very interesting. So I said, okay. Well, when I finally found the Center of Peace in Elkins Park and got the right day when it was open, I was like flabbergasted. It was beautiful to study. I mean, everything was just beautiful. So anyway, the point I'm getting to is Reverend Sheila. I don't know if y'all remember when I first started going to the Center of Peace, Reverend Sheila did a workshop, a visioning workshop. And she happened to be at my table. How blessed was I? Okay. So, and at the end of us all giving our little story on what we wanted and what we dreamt about and whatnot, she looked at me with these big black pearly eyes and the pretty little dimples and says, you're going to Germany. I said, okay. She said I was going to Germany. I said, okay, so I'll just keep hope alive. If she said it, I believe it. All right, so 2 months ago, I got a phone call from Switzerland saying that I was invited to come to Switzerland, and I will also take a small tour of Germany where I grew up at. Now, I know all of you have been different places and enjoyed life elsewhere, but this to me is just like a special occasion, really a special occasion. I'm going back where I grew up at, my first 10 years of my life. And just to see what it's like. I don't expect it to be the same, of course. Now, all this resulted, as far as I'm concerned, by learning how to meditate, and I had to learn that, by learning how to meditate, prayers, classes, becoming part of care circles, intently, mind you, intently listening at Reverend Tawana's messages, journaling, and whatever else is that's good that's come to me. And this spiritual, what we believe, I forgot what it's called, is the creative mind. The creative mind. Listen to what I said all these years. I wanted to go to Germany. I just wanted to go to Germany. Didn't care what the reason was for going. I just wanted to go. And I am next Sunday leaving here on the Big Bird. And I'll be going for a couple of weeks, well, 9 days. So please pray that I have a safe, I ask y'all to pray for me to have a safe journey. So if I decide to come back, I'll be back. And if not, send me a card. And I want to thank you, everyone, for letting me share, because this did my heart so much good. I'm going to fly. Going on the Big Bird and fly. Everyone, have a beautiful day. Happy Mother's Day to all.
Good morning, Center of Peace. Hi, so good to see everyone live. I've been on Zoom and Facebook singing for I don't know how long now, I guess the past year. When I first walked in, there was a lady I didn't know said, "Hey, I've been watching you. It's good to see you live." So it's so good to be here in person again. Happy Mother's Day to all of the beautiful mothers in the room, all of the mothers who are watching online, and especially to my mother, Helen Jones, and my daughter, Yolanda Cole. So, this song is I Am by Charles Holt. I love this song because it reminds us that because God is, I am. Because God is, you are. And thank you to Kamara and Janet for joining me in this song. It's very beautiful. So here we go. Angel asked me, do you know who you are? The question and the answer is not very far. Song of the sages, knowledge of the ages is living where you reside. You have the key that unlocks the door to enter in that sacred place you haven't gone before, where deep meets deep, soul to soul. Feel that connection as the truth unfolds. I am. I am. I am. I am. You are.
You are the answer. Yes, you are the key that unlocks the door to freedom and leads you to me. Look deep inside you. Trust the force that guides you. It knows the way.
It knows the way.
There's no separation. We are one in the same. Child of the Creator. No by different names.
by different
the
names.
Alpha and Omega.
Alpha and Omega.
The eternal
The
flame.
eternal
That
flame.
burns deep inside you.
Do you know my name? I am. I am. From the rocks to the trees.
I am.
All the stars
in me.
and you live in me.
From the very low to the heavens above, I am. Ooh, I am, I am, I am, I am, I am. It knows the way.
It knows the way, no separation. We are one and the same, a child of the Creator, known by different names. The Alpha and Omega, the eternal flame that burns deep inside you.
Do you know my name? I am.
From the mountains to the ocean,
I am.
oh, from the rocks to the trees,
I am.
all the stars and congregations,
I am. You are. I am.
from the rocks to the ocean,
I am.
from the mountains to the sea,
I am.
all the stars and congregations,
I am. You are. I am.
walking through the generations,
I am.
from the rocks to the trees,
I am.
all the stars and constellations,
I am. You are. I am.
Good morning, Centerpiece. That's a hard act to follow. That was really powerful. I love, and that's one of my favorite songs. So, well done. Thank you. I'm going to read the affirmation. I'm going to read the first sentence, and then I want all of you to repeat after me, and then I'll go through the next sentence until we complete the affirmation, and then I'll complete the reading. Yes, please stand. I am a radiant vessel of love.
I am a radiant vessel of love,
Effortlessly embodying and channeling divine energy.
effortlessly embodying and challenging divine energy
Of compassion, kindness and understanding.
kindness and understanding.
As I open my heart,
As I open my heart,
I attract and share love in abundance,
I attract and share love and abundance,
creating harmony and connection
creating harmony and connection
with all beings in this world.
with all beings in this world.
Perfect. And so it is. The reading and affirmation was submitted by Alima Abdul Boyd. And it comes from the 4 Agreements to Reading, A Practical Guide to Personal Freedom by Don Miguel Ruiz. This is an excerpt from the first agreement. Be impeccable with your word. Your word is the power that you have to create. Your word is the gift that comes directly from God. The Gospel of John in the Bible, speaking of the creation of the universe, says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word is God. Through the Word, you express your creative power. It is through the Word that you manifest everything. Regardless of what language you speak, your intent manifests through your word. What you dream, what you feel, what you really are, will be manifested through the word. The word is not just a sound or a written symbol. The word is a force. It is the power you have to express and communicate, to think, and thereby to create the events in your life. The word is the most powerful tool you have as a human being. It is a tool of magic. But like a sword with two edges, your word can create the most beautiful dream, or your word can destroy everything around you. Depending upon how you use it, the word can set you free, or it can enslave you to even more than you know. Some years ago, one man in Germany, by the use of the word, manipulated a whole country of the most intelligent people. He led them into a world war with just the power of his word. He convinced others to commit the most atrocious acts of violence. He activated people's fear with the word, and like a big explosion, there was killing and a war all around the world. All over the world, humans destroyed other humans because they were afraid of each other. That man's word, based on fear, generate beliefs and agreements, will be remembered for centuries. The human mind is like a fertile ground where seeds are continually being planted. The seeds are opinions, ideas, and concepts. You plant a seed, a thought, and it grows. The word is like a seed, and the human mind is so fertile. What is important to see, which kind of seeds our mind is fertile for, and to prepare it to receive the seeds of love. Religious talks about sin and sinners, but it understands what it really means to sin. A sin is anything that you do which goes against yourself. Everything you feel or believe or say that goes against yourself is a sin. You go against yourself when you judge or blame yourself for anything. Being without sin is exactly the opposite. Being impeccable is not going against yourself. When you are impeccable, you take responsibility for your actions, but you do not judge and blame yourself. From this point of view, the whole concept of sin changes from something moral or religious to something common sense. Self-rejection is the biggest sin that you can commit. In religious terms, self-rejection is a mortal sin, which leads to death. Impeccably, on the other hand, leads to life. Being impeccable with your word is not using the word against yourself. To be impeccable with your word is the most important agreement. It is so important that with just this first agreement, you'll be able to transcend the level of existence called heaven on earth. Again, this was submitted by Alima Abdul Boyd. And so it is.
So this is called Caravan of Love. It's about living in a world of peace, which is what the Center of Peace, Center for Spiritual Living, is all about. Enjoy. And join us. One by one, we're gonna stand with the pride, one that can't be denied.
Stand up, stand up, stand up.
From the highest mountain and valley low, we'll join together with hearts of gold.
Now the children of the world can see there's a better way for us to be.
You're my sister, don't you know? And you're my brother, you're my mother, don't you know?
Now the children of the world can see there's a better way for us to be. The place where mankind was born is so neglected and torn apart.
Every woman, every man, join the caravan of love. Stand up, stand up, stand up. Everybody take a stand. Join the caravan of love. Are you ready for the time of your life? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready for the time of your life? Are you ready? Are you ready? Go with me. Are you ready? Are you ready? Come go with me. Are you ready? Are you ready? Every woman, every man, join the caravan of love. Are you ready? Everybody take a stand. Join the caravan of love. Are you ready? Every woman, every man, join the caravan of love. Are you ready? Everybody take a stand. Join the caravan of love. Are you ready?
Yeah, okay. All right, Rachel. She's back. Thank you, Kamara, Janet, Rachel. Thank you. That was beautiful. So, we are continuing then this month with our theme, Who Sent This? Ish. And we are continuing to look at a year of releasing and letting go. And I have to admit, it's called me to greater practice. Wow is all I got. What I'd like to do today, I usually just read a few spiritual principles that is also titled What We Believe by Ernest Holmes. You can do a search for What We Believe if you want a copy of it, or if you get our constant contact, you're on our mailing list. There's a link that'll lead you to a page. They have everything that I have in front of me, which is a little bit more detailed than what you'll find if you do a search for What We Believe. But this morning, I'd like to take an opportunity just to expand upon some of the principles a little bit more. So, spiritual principle, this morning we're working with spiritual principle number 1. We believe in God, the living spirit, almighty one, indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. We believe this one manifests itself in and through all creation, but is not absorbed by its creation. Spiritual principle number 2, we believe in the individualization of the spirit in us and that all people are individualizations of the one Spirit. Here is our grand opportunity to affirm as Jesus the Christ did, or to affirm as Charles Holt sang, I am. I am what thou art. And Ernest Holmes says, this what thou art, or to give us a greater understanding of what thou art, if I am what thou art, Ernest Holmes says that it is an infinite thing that overshadows eternity and finds its abiding place in me. It, what thou art, an infinite thing that is, as they saying, that it is greater than the mountains and the sea, the stars in the sky and the constellation. It overshadows eternity. This thing, it finds itself abiding in me and in you. I am. What this means then is that you and I, we always have the capacity to think a greater thought. The reading suggests that we be impeccable with our word. This is a very, very important idea for us to consider. In this teaching, there's no room for simple thinking. There's no room for simple thinking. I am what thou art. It's not just a simple thought. There's no room for simple thinking. Ernest Holmes also says, and I'm reading from the Science of Mind textbook on page 38, he says, that we must go the way of the law is a fundamental tenet of the science. That we must go the way of the law is a fundamental tenet of this science because nature obeys us as we first obey it. And our obedience to it is our acceptance of it. How much can we believe? As much as we can believe will be done unto us. So, that we must go by way of the principle. There's an infinite thing in us, and that we must go by the law is fundamental to the teaching. Principle number 7, I'm back on the principles. What we believe. Principle number 8. We believe that the universal spirit, which is God, operates through a universal mind, which is the law of God, and that we are surrounded by this creative mind, which receives the direct impress of our thought and acts upon it, which is the principle that Tony shared with us this morning. It is in line with, or joins with what Ernest Holmes said, that we must go by the way of the law is fundamental. There's no way around it. If us thinking that I am is not simple thinking, the reason it's not simple thinking is because it is directly impressed upon the law, and the law acts. It has no choice but to act. So, I'm back on the principles. Principle number 5, we believe the ultimate goal of life to be a complete freedom from all discord of every nature, and that this goal is sure to be attained by all. And spiritual principle number 9, we believe in the healing of the sick and the control of conditions through the power of this mind. to control conditions and to be free, bless you, of all discord of every nature, we must become more. We must become more. And on page 267, in the Science of Mind textbook, Ernest Holmes says, he says that the science of mind is based entirely upon the supposition that we are surrounded by a universal mind into which we think. Excuse me, 1 second. Which is the law of mind. Which is the law of mind. And he says that this mind in its original state fills all space. It fills the space that man uses in the universe. It is in man as well as outside him. As we think into this universal mind, he sets a law in motion which is creative. There is no room for simple thinking in this teaching. The thing you think is creative, which contains within itself a limitless possibility. He goes on to say that man must become more if he wishes to draw a greater good into his life. Here's the thing. What we are dealing with is an infinite thing and an infinite law. We are dealing with an infinite thing, this thing that abides within us. It is a thing of infinite possibilities. We are dealing with an infinite thing and an infinite law. There's no room for small thinking in this teaching. Last week, as we were talking about letting go, we were invited to stop rating our experiences, the experiences that we have. You know, it's a 1-star experience or a 5-star experience, this sort of thing. Because when we do, there's a tendency to remove ourselves from the experience so that we can rate the experience of somebody else. That's really what's happening. But we've removed ourselves entirely from the experience and rated the experience. And our rating then is based on our experience of another. In other words, we leave out the things that we've brought to the experience. Or greater, we leave out the things that we can bring to the experience. We said not to rate our experience, but to accept our experience. To accept our experience. And today, on Mother's Day, as we come together to celebrate the divine feminine presence, its energy, as we come together to celebrate this part of us that is always open and receptive and able to accept. As we come together to celebrate that, and what I mean by that is that as we come to accept that we are an infinite thing and we are dealing with an infinite law, what I mean then is that just as the fertile soil is always available to receive a seed any day, at any time, and at anywhere, so are we always, as the fertile soil, available to receive an idea, a high and holy idea. It is our nature to open up to divine ideas, to receive divine insight, and to have divine revelations. It's our natural way of being. And when we do open up, and we do accept, and we do come in tune with the divine energy that we are, then every worthy desire of my heart is fulfilled. And nothing is withheld. There is no room for small thinking in this teaching. You should tell your neighbor, nothing is withheld. Nothing is ever withheld. We are dealing with an infinite thing and an infinite law. Here's the thing. As I was preparing for the message for today, if I'm going to be honest, I was met with a sense and a feeling of uncertainty. I really was. That's the truth. Because as I allow myself to be present with the relationship that I have with my mother, I would have to say it's not the relationship that I would like it to be. It's not what I would like it to be. And that's just the truth. And I think as I speak of it in this way, that I'm not just speaking for myself, because this isn't just about mothers and daughters, although this opportunity allows me to speak about it in this way. If there's any relationship that you have in your life that isn't what you want it to be, because there was a sense of uncertainty and a feeling of uncertainty, because I know that it could mean a day of comparing. A day of me comparing my experiences with the experiences of others. But there's a room for simple thinking in this teaching. There is a song that I think Ricky Byers sings sometime. I don't know who is the author of the song, but it's titled In the Land of I Am. And in the song it says, I am more than I have been and more than I will be. There's no room for simple thinking in this teaching. You should tell your neighbor, I am more than I have been and more than I will be. I am more than I have been and I am more than I will be. Yes, there's no room for small thinking in this teaching. This sense of uncertainty this morning and these feelings that I was having in preparation for the message, as I said, it leads us to thinking about what we don't have. And it can lead one to think about what we don't want, which is the complete opposite of the teaching. You're not to stay focused on what you don't have and what you don't want. You're to get focused on what you do want and to be grateful for what you do have. See, there is no room for simple thinking in this teaching. I can stand up here today and say I am more than I have been, but not just because I can say it, but because you have made me more than I have been, and you affirm in me all the more that I will be. So let us consider today then that we're being called to let go of all of our desire to compare our experiences. To let it go and to accept our experiences. To accept our experience and bring the more into the experience. We are dealing with an infinite thing and an infinite principle. Everything is possible. I'm more than I have been and more than I will be. Because when it comes to comparing, I think perhaps we have mastered how to live while we compare. But I want us to consider, in the state of comparison, does it get in the way of loving? We're living, but are we loving? When we're in a state of comparison, Ernest Holmes in his writing, The Miracle of Mother Love, he says that the gift of love is precious. More precious than a ruby. A ruby is hard to find. He says that this love, just as a mother is being prepared to give birth, that it prepares us to become more. This love prepares us to become more. And so, if that is true, there will come a time in this teaching where we really do have to be impeccable with our word. There'll come a time in this teaching where we will have to say to ourselves, those of us who are serious about being spiritual and living a spiritual life and living in joy and expressing love and having love, those of us who are serious about changing our lives, there'll come a point in time where we'll have to agree that we can no longer say that it is the way that it is. My relationship is not the relationship that I would like to have with my mother. At some point in time, I can't just be all right with saying it is the way that it is. There's no room in this teaching for simple thinking. I am more than I have been and more than I will be. You should really tell your neighbor, that's it. That's it. That's it. It's not the way that it is. It's the way that I create it. The law impels us to be creative. It's not true that my relationship is the way that it is with my mother. No, I am more than I have been and more than I will be. Today I declare and I decree the relationship is going to be what I created to be. And when I create it to be a certain way, then I've got to get busy and go find it. It's not going to come to me. And I'm not expecting her to change. I didn't say that she is all that she can be and will be more than she will be. No, I said that I am more than I have ever been and am going to be more than I will ever be. I want a loving relationship. I don't care who it comes from. When I look around, I got a whole lot of mamas. I have demonstrated an abundant amount of mothers. Listen here, if you need one, let me know. There ain't no room for simple thinking in this teaching. No, it's not. It's not. It's not. It is what it is. No. If you're in a relationship and it's not what you want it to be, decide today that it is not what it is. It's what you create it to be. It's what you decree it to be. It's what you declare it to be. I'm reminded today, not just to accept the experience, but to become more in the experience. But to become more in the experience. Join me, practitioners. That's all I got. As we allow ourselves to bask in this feminine, divine essence and energy that is good and oh so good, let us be assured that we bring our recognition and our awareness into knowing truly that it is only one. It is the mother and the father. It is one, it is divine. It is the great I am. It is infinite. And so are we? As we allow ourselves then to unite with its divine and holy ideas, because its ideas never end. Let us join and become one with it now and forever, allowing its ideas to flow through us, allowing its ideas to become who and what we really and truly are. As I speak my word, I know that my word is the thing that sets the law in motion. And just as my word is infinite, the law is infinite. It is forever and ever saying yes to the direct impress that I apply to it. It is forever saying yes to my true heart's desire, conspiring for my good and conspiring for your good. And as I speak my word today, I affirm for you and I affirm for me no more small thinking. I affirm for you and I affirm for me no more simple thinking. I know today that I am impeccable with my word, and that you too are impeccable with your word. Because as we desire something more, I know that each one of us, that what we take into our experience, that we are desiring more, that what we take is more than we've ever been, and what we take is more than we'll ever be. For I know that we are dealing with a thing that is infinite, that abides within me and that abides within you, and that we are dealing with an infinite law. That our needs are ever met. I affirm, and I know for you and for me, that as we go out into this world, that we move from our simple thinking and we stand in our power and we create the relationships that we want to have. That we declare and decree, and that we are so bold that we state we want to have a loving relationships all over the place, that is filled with a precious kind of love, a love that's not so easy to come by, a love that's not so easily recognizable, but yet that lives inside of each and every one of us. I affirm and I know that as each of us, that this is the love that we desire, that as it calls us to go deeper, that we go deep. So I know for you, as I know for myself, no more thinking that it is the way that it is. All of my life is as I created. All of my life is as I created. All of my relationships are as I created. As I know this to be true for me, I know it's the truth for you. All of your life, all of your experiences are as you created. It can be no other way. I'm grateful to be able to speak these words. I'm grateful to be able to know truth when I see it and to declare it as my truth. I am grateful for the relationships that I do have that are perfect and divine and are experienced and expressed in ways I couldn't even imagine. I can't even make it up how good it is. It's good and it's oh so good. It's true for me, and I know it's true for you as a possibility. It's always possible. Everything is always possible. It ain't just the way it is. I'm grateful, 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 and so moved in this moment to gather all the words that have been spoken, all the songs that have been sang that affirm, all the songs that have been sang that encourage us and inspire to declare, I am more than I have been, and all that I will be. I am. Let us take these words in, become so fully embodied and embraced by these words that we become the very word itself. As I find myself in complete acceptance of this, we just simply let these words go, and I invite you to join me by saying, and so it is.
God is where I stand. God is standing strong where I breathe. God is breathing life in and out and through me. As me, where I sing. God is where I dance. Joy lifts my feet. Where I live, beauty's flowing free, in and out and through me. As me, for where I doubt, God is the faith in me. Where I cry, God is the comfort there. Where I seek, God is the answer. Here and now, forever and ever and ever. Where I speak truth is, where I work, love is my career, and where I play, God is playing boldly, in and out and through me. As me. Oh, oh. Do do do. Where I am, where I stand, where I play, where I work and breathe and move and be, where I sing, where I dance, my dance, my dance, wherever I go, where I pray and take and give and live. God is, God is, God is, God is.
And so it is. So it is. So we are ready now to move forward in our service. Move into that time where we come to share and to give to the Center of Peace. It's time for our tithes and our offerings. And I want to invite you all to turn in with me, if you would, to take your tithes and offerings into your hand as we move into prayer. And as we know, too, that as we move into prayer, that we are blessing and giving thanks for all that we've already received by those who give online. Let us take this moment then simply to turn within, to bring our awareness into a space and a place of that which is eternal, life that is ever giving. It's from that place and that space that we come together then in joy, with our hearts wide open to give, knowing that as we give, we do receive. So I am giving thanks then in this moment for all that we receive, as I know that all that we receive, that it moves us forward and creating an even more safer place and an even more sacred space for anybody and everybody who is done with simple thinking. I know that every cent that we receive, that it moves us forward and creating a safer place and an even more sacred space for anybody who is ready to be impeccable with their word, to declare that they are creating the desires of their heart day in and day out. I know this to be true. And so I know that as we are blessed by every cent that we receive, I know too that the giver receives 1,000,000 times fold. Simply, it can be no other way. So for every cent that we receive, I give thanks. I do give thanks. And so it is.
Give thanks, give thanks, give thanks, give thanks, give thanks for all that is. Give praise, give praise, give praise, give praise. Give praise is.
And so it is. And so it is. Yes. Thank you. All right. So we are ready and prepared to stand and sing our closing song, Our Release. You can find the lyrics if you've downloaded the QR code. If you don't know the lyrics to the song, or on the papers that we provided, you'll find the lyrics there as the choir comes forward, or those who are leading us in the singing of our closing song, Our Release. And as those who are leading us in the singing come forward, I want to remind you that if you are in need of prayer today, please see one of our practitioners in the back of the room. Our practitioners have on the purple stoves. They would love to pray for you this day. They'd love to be able to know the truth about you and for you today. Yes. In addition to that, I want to take an opportunity just to acknowledge those who are part of our congregation who are what we are calling, have been called sick and shut in. But we're not affirming that. We're just saying that they are in the midst of their experience and creating it the way that they want it to be. But nonetheless, let us send them some love and some light and know the truth of their being, to know who they really and truly are. So as we just speak their names, Saida Hafiz and Joyce Burton and Diane Rollins, and anybody else that I've missed, we're sending love and light your way. All right.
There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all by myself.
Didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. Didn't know the love of God was in hand.
But now I can say, if you're discouraged, trying just to make it through another day,
you have got to let it go. Let it go. This is what you have to say, everybody. Come on. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, and no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. Ooh. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. Let it all go. Let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, you gotta see the holy light. I am free. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm only here
And so as we journey on throughout our week, let us be clear that there is no room for simple thinking in our lives. We are dealing with an infinite thing and an infinite law. I am more than I have been and more than I will be. And so it is. I didn't get to hug you last time and say welcome. Thank you so much. Thank you.
thing.